is going on, internet? It is Friday, August 23rd, day number 39 inside the Big Brother house. So much to go over. Who won HoH? Who are the potential nominees? Also, Big Brother's hiding something, guys. They're hiding something. We're going to go over everything without speculating too much. I'm going to give you the facts of what we know. Let's talk about all that, plus all the intel, drama, and more from yesterday's live feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. We are live today. On Fridays, we go live. We've got the chat. You can kind of see some of them up there going. How are you guys all doing? Stin, Michelle, Dilemma, Just, Jackie, Tuku, Barbara. I think I saw Norma earlier. MFL, Mike. How are all you guys doing? If I didn't say hi, trust me, I'll get to you. What we do here first on Fridays, we do our normal live feed update. I'm going to run you through everything that happened. And then we're going to jump into the chat. We're going to talk to you guys. And there's a lot. There's a lot that we're going to need to talk about. So first off, pre-show feeds. Before we get into what happened on last night's feeds, let's talk a little bit about what happened before the episode even aired. We saw the Friends with 4 Z's formed and locked in. It's an alliance that already kind of was a thing. T-Core, Chemo, Rubina, Tucker. They're kind of solid 4. They finally named it. They're called the Friends. Now, there's a funny story with this, actually, because while they were naming it, Tucker said, hey, how about the Visionaries? Now, listen, let me just say, without being too vulgar, if you would put a diamond in Chemo and T-Core's you-know-what, or you would put coal. I said that wrong. If you would put coal in T-Core and Chemo's butt, you would get a diamond. Because as soon as he said, you want to name it the Visionaries? I would have been like, oh no. Either you just say yes, right? Why not have just 2 separate visionary alliances? Either way, they settled on Friends with 4 Z's. And they discussed the vote. Tucker kind of pushed Brooklyn, obviously, but also Chelsea still as potentially someone he'd like to see go. Afterwards, he ended up leaving, and T-Core kind of, again, went along with what she said. Hey, we got somebody coming on in, Sean, I believe. Hitting that subscribe button. Guess what? We now have a secret alliance. Don't tell anybody. So after Tucker left that conversation, he started having a convo with T-Core started having a convo with Chemo and Rubina. Same thing she always does, where she starts to complain that he's pushing his own agenda, what's good for him, not what's good for us. And they actually, for like the first time, somebody said, hey, why don't you say this during the meeting? Why do you wait until later? So finally somebody said it. Like maybe don't wait until the last minute to have these conversations. Overall, though, the vote did land on Chelsea being the one to stay no matter what, and Brooklyn going over Cam. Cam did actually find this out as well. I think Leah might have tipped him off. There might have been some other people that tipped him off as well, that if he was on the block with Chelsea, he was going to be leaving. But that takes us into the episode, which was a lot of fun. We saw the fallout of the veto meeting. But overall, I think it was kind of just like breezed by a lot of it. The way it was described, and who knows, it was second-hand information, right? The way it was kind of described on the feeds was that there was a lot of yelling. We didn't see a lot of that. Also, with the Tucker-Brooklyn conversation, that was kind of toned down as well. But I kind of get it, right? Like, there's just so much going on. Did you really need to show all the drama? But, I mean, it would have been juicier. There was plenty of stuff to show. The AI arena was hard, was it not? So it had all these like scrambled letters. You had to try and figure out what the 3 phrases were. These like AI pictures. They had like a background, and then they had to put like a random picture up. it was supposed to be like AI generated images or whatever, but it was really hard because they were random, right? It was like there was a picture of a bouquet of burgers, there was a unicorn, an astronaut, like I think one was like an alien on an apple or something. I don't know. It was weird. Um, and it seemed like everybody was having a hard time. I think eventually all kind of got the strategy. I think Chelsea kind of implemented it the best, where you lay every piece out on the ground so you could see what you're dealing with. Then you go worry about the words. As it went longer, the words started to reveal themselves even better. And I still like don't even know what the third one was. I have no clue what the third one actually was. Eventually, though, Chelsea's the one who wins it, and it took him a long time. It took Chelsea a long time to end up coming up with the answer, but she won her safety, and that kind of just meant that it was going to be Brooklyn versus Cam. Brooklyn, to her credit, didn't go down sleeping, right? She went out there, she made her case, she talked to T-Core and Chemo, trying to say, like, hey, keep me, right? Like, you're not going to be able to beat Tucker, right? Like, I'm going to be going after him. She made a passionate kind of speech to everybody in the house, even before the actual nomination speeches, just saying, like, hey, I'm always going to be a target, right? Like, if I'm here, it's good for you. But it didn't matter. 8-1. She ends up getting evicted. Moonwalking on out of there. Chelsea being the one person to vote for Brooklyn to stay, which I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to affect her relationship with Cam. At the time, I was thinking, man, if I'm Cam, I'm not going to be trusting Chelsea too much anymore, right? Like, I think I would think twice a little bit, right? If she voted to evict me, and the one person in the house to vote to evict me, I mean, I don't know. There was no jury announcement, so we still technically don't know if jury has started or not. Technically, if it's a 9-person jury, I have this right? Yeah, there's 11 people right now. So if it's a 9-person jury, technically we're in jury already. We could hear Julie at the start of Thursday's episode say the person evicted tonight will be the first member of the jury. That's still a possibility. So I don't know for sure if it's jury yet. Could be a 7-person. I'm leaning towards thinking it's a 7-person jury. I also kind of like a 7-person jury more than a 9-person jury. I feel like when you have almost like an even amount of pre-jurors and jury members, I don't know, it just makes it feel like getting to jury is more of an accomplishment. So we'll see, I guess probably Thursday, whether or not Julie says like, hey, you made it to the jury or not. AI Arena is still in place as well, so that's a thing. We're also going to find out AI Instigator on Sunday's show. And then for some reason, Wednesday's episode is a 2-hour show. No idea why. It could just be an extra long episode. They did that last year where there was one random Wednesday episode that was just 2 hours long. There was no explanation for it. I think if I remember correctly, the only thing I could think of, I know exactly why. They've been showing Tulsa King, I think, right? Is that on Wednesdays or is that Sundays? Maybe not. Either way, it's probably just to make up for a scheduling filling. I don't think there's a twist coming necessarily, but who knows? Expect the unexpected, right? After the episode, we've normally been getting the post-eviction but pre-HoH feeds. We didn't get them this time. There wasn't any of those. Which is a little bit disappointing. I've really kind of grown to like having those post-eviction pre-HoH feeds. Just more of a raw reaction to what happened at the eviction. It's kind of fun. Plus, you hear a little bit more like scheming on like, you know, who wants to win HoH, what they would do if they won HoH, and you can get some kind of good stuff there. And overall, they've been very entertaining. Last Thursdays was really good as well. So we didn't get them, and that was a little bit sad. When feeds did come back, though, we found out very quickly who won HoH, and it's none other. Did it change? T-Core. T-Core is your HoH, and guys, I just gotta say, I'm so proud of her for everything she's accomplished and everything she did. And man, all the tears that were going and flowing through the house. It inspired me. It inspired me. So basically everybody was crying. They were all Rubina was crying, Chemo was crying, Tucker started crying. Everyone was so emotional about Takur's win. Apparently the win itself, like as it happened, was very emotional, so that I guess will be interesting to see on Sunday's episode. Tucker thinks though that some of the reactions seemed a little bit fake. He pointed out Cam and Leah specifically. He thought maybe they were kind of faking how happy they were. Some of the things that were discussed was that Takur was going to do her one-on-ones in 20 minutes or less. She was going to get that quicker to you than if you ordered a pizza. If you ordered DoorDash, if you ordered Uber Eats, it was going to get there before she was done her next one-on-one. That was her mission. Which, okay, I guess so. Let's run on through these, because she did a lot of them. First off, she started with Chemo, obviously her number one ally in the game. He told her, like, look, gather information and say less. I don't think you need to tell her that, Chemo. I think that's kind of her MO, is gather information and say less. That is kind of her thing. You didn't need a reminder to do that. But then they kind of talked about, what the plan is. Somebody that you don't want to in jury, because jury's going to be starting soon, or potentially has started, but we don't know. And 2 competitors. Immediately, they start talking that, hey, maybe Tucker will volunteer to go on the block, and that could be an option to be a pawn. Maybe we can get Cam. Leah is an option. She's not putting Chelsea up. She's not putting Chemo up. She's not putting Rubina up. Those are the people that she's considering, like, safe. Chemo then chatted with Tucker after that conversation, and Tucker threw out MJ. He threw out Leah. Then he says, like, you're going to probably need a pawn, so how about Chelsea and Quinn? And after that, he kind of realized he was getting a little bit of pushback. Like, Chemo's like, yeah, I think she wants to protect them. And he kind of is like, I guess I'd be willing to go up, right? Like, I don't know, like, if that's kind of what we want to do. But I got the sense that he really kind of clocked how much they were protecting that. And that could be a thing where he's like, all right, if it's not going to be them, it's going to be someone like Angela. It's going to be someone like Cam even. It's going to be someone like Joseph. All people that Tucker wouldn't want going on the block anyway. So if someone was going to go on the block, I guess he would rather be on the block, right? If that kind of makes sense. And yeah, I just think it was kind of one of those moments where he caught that and was like, I don't know. It's weird that he's volunteering, but we'll get to this a little bit more. He then had his conversation with T-Core, and it seemed like actually his tears might have saved him a little bit. They had a very long hug. They embraced. He was telling her how proud. He kind of does offer to be a pawn, but she kind of shoots it down a little bit. He says, like, listen, if it was me, Chelsea and Quinn would be my targets, but he gets it that might be hard for her. Do what she's comfortable with. If it's MJ, if it's Leah, whatever it is. And the friends, they should meet up later. So after that conversation, though, Tucker meets up with Chemo again, and he's like, listen, I'm not going up on the block. I was just being polite. I offered it to every other HoH. I just didn't want to not offer it to her. But I mean, I shouldn't go up, right? Like, that shouldn't be a thing. T-Core continued with her one-on-one. She had one with Angela, who she put up, like asking like who she would put up, right? Like, what would be your options? And Angela's like, I don't know if I want to say. She's like, it might make you sad. And I assume she was meaning Quinn and Chelsea when she was saying that's people she would put up on the block. But eventually she does kind of name them as like potential targets along with Leah. So even though she didn't name somebody, she named people. Leah, she goes in and she throws everybody under the bus. MJ, Cam, Tucker, Rubina, Chemo, even like anyone who was possibly in the vicinity of the sidewalk, Leah decided giving a nice shove under the bus. It was like, you just right over there, you can go. Anyone but me, pretty much. She did continue though to kind of like wrap back round to MJ all the time, so that was the biggest one she was putting on there. And I think the main goal for Leah is, I think she could tell, like, I'm in trouble, but as long as I'm up there with a big target, good for me. So she was just naming off people that potentially other people would vote out over her. That was her biggest thing, and I think she wants to make sure if she's at least up there with somebody, she's up there with MJ, because that's somebody that everybody would vote out before she would be. We also then had Joseph and Rubina having a little chat, talking about, listen, I think Chelsea needs to go up, right? Like, she won't go home like this week, and even if she does, right, or even if she does stay up on the block for eviction night, we have the votes to keep her. And if she gets mad at T-Core, what's she gonna do? She doesn't have numbers, right? So Chelsea would be a perfect person to nominate this week for T-Core. He then ends up meeting with T-Core, says, listen, I think you should put up Cam, MJ, and Chelsea, Leah's potential replacement nominee, but Leah loves you, right? Like, you shouldn't put Leah up on the block. She is looking out for you. Chelsea, not so much. But T-Core says, like, listen, I won't put, Chelsea and Cam up together. I think it's cruel, right? Like, especially like 2 weeks in a row. She also says Tucker would, potentially go up. And then Joseph's like, oh, well, that sounds like a great idea then. if Tucker wants to go up, why not? Right? Like, if he's volunteering, that saves blood for you. We have the votes for him. He's got, the shots to win veto and AI. So it seems great. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe Tucker Pawn is back on the table. This isn't good. Cam had a chat with Chelsea, and he notices that T-Core and Chemo, they're like the top duo, and everyone is scared to put up Tucker except for him, Quinn, Chelsea, maybe Leah. Did Cam have like his 21st birthday or something like that last night? If you know, you know, but Cam all of a sudden came to play. I don't know what happened between last night's eviction and what happened, because all of a sudden Cam's playing. It's like he literally turned 25 years old. I don't know what other explanation to say other than 25-year-old Cam is superior than 24-year-old Cam, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. He then meets up with T-Core, and he thinks he's the number 2 threat in people's eyes, which also that's a pretty accurate statement, I think, right? Like, people would see Cam as kind of the number 2, like, physical threat behind Tucker. Maybe the only one else they would think of, like, all right, this is a major threat we need to get out right now, would be like MJ. But he that's actually pretty accurate, right? It's pretty self-aware. And he says, like, if they can't go after the number 1 threat, aka Tucker, they would go for him. He's like, listen, I'm loyal. I can be an asset to you. Like, I'm going to, like, have your back. I'm going to do things, like, to help your game, and this can be good. And then he very bluntly asks, so if it was me and Chelsea on the block, I would have gone, right? And Decor, she just as bluntly says back, yeah, like, without missing a beat. And I just kind of loved how honest that conversation was. We then had a moment where the feeds cut, and we'll get to that. That's going to be a thing. I don't know if it's connected, but feeds cut during their conversation. And again, we'll get back to that. Feeds also cut during the Cam and Chelsea conversation as well, and we'll get to that. Quinn and T-Core, he comes in, he's like, I bet you everybody's probably saying MJ. He's right. And he also said that, Cam's probably easy as somebody that you could put up. And he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tucker he said he would be willing to go up as a nominee. He called that so well. Good job, Quinn. And he's like, listen, you could also put up somebody like Angela, but I don't want you to have to do that. But if you did put up Angela, MJ would kind of be calm on the block because she's going after her. Plus, MJ's probably somebody who would put him on the block. So that's a whole thing. I need a drink. I've been going here for a little while, guys. There's a lot. Need the monster too. Where were we? He was talking about putting MJ up because Angela would stay calm. He doesn't want Takor to have to do that, though. And they talk about if MJ or Cam and Tucker are the ones to be going on the block. MJ or Cam win the veto. Then who goes up? Quinn's like, I guess you got to do Leah, right? Like, if that was the scenario, Leah'd have to be your replacement. MJ had her conversation, and it was very one-sided. It was pretty much MJ talking to Takor and pushing Quinn, saying that I think he's probably somebody that would come after me. He scares me a little bit game-wise. And just lots of Takor going, So that was the thing. Chemo lets Rubina know that Tucker could be an option. And Rubina and Chemo are not having it. They both say it is way too risky. He can't go up on the block. He'd end up going home, and it's not good. They need to make sure this doesn't happen. Even though he volunteered, Chemo's like, yeah, he volunteered, but he said he was just doing it to be polite. Like, he doesn't actually want to go up. So that's a thing. Rubina then goes to have her conversation with Takor, and, she does kind of say she doesn't like the idea of Tucker going up, and they could do other things, but their conversation got cut off. Again, we'll get to that. Joseph and Rubina also had a conversation, and Joseph filled her in like, he's like, actually, I think Tucker going up's a great idea. Again, Rubina doesn't seem to like it very much either. Joseph and Leah also had a conversation where he was telling her, like, yeah, I'm doing everything I can to keep you safe. Like, you're going to be good. And Leah informed Joseph she's keeping track of the condoms up in the HoH room. And the box was busted open. So it looks like we are not the only ones who know about the wrestling that Tucker and Rubina were doing in the HoH room. It looks like the rest of the house is finding out as well. We also had Chemo and Quinn have a conversation where they thought that Joseph was a little bit suspect, right? Like, I don't know. He's kind of an opportunist, right? He would take any shot he could to flip the numbers. So it could be a thing. Maybe we got to watch out for him. I wouldn't be surprised if Joseph ends up being a potential option for a nominee, whether a replacement or an initial one. So just kind of keep that in mind, that could be potentially somewhere they could go with maybe even Leah and Joseph up on the block because of how much he was trying to save her. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but it could be a thing. Here's where things get a little bit weird. We didn't see Chelsea's one-on-one. Most of Chemo and Takor's follow-up one-on-one, like after everybody had their one-on-ones, he went to meet up with her. Most of that was cut. We did see a little bit where she says a lot of people were saying Cam, and it kind of sucks that, she would have to put him up like 2 weeks in a row after losing friends, and it would just kind of be, not very fun to have to do to him. The Friends with 4 Z's, that meeting was blocked, and something's being hidden. We don't know exactly what. Here's where I'm going to give you guys what I know, the facts of the situation, because there's a lot of speculation going on, and we don't know for sure really anything. But I'm going to give you what I know. Like I said, something's being hidden. there was a conversation where Cam said that Tucker said something and asked Chelsea if they should tell T-Core about that, and the feeds cut. Cam's feeds cut when he was talking to T-Core about something, and again, I don't know if it had to do with Tucker. I don't know what that was exactly, but his feeds did cut when he was talking to T-Core, and again, he mentioned earlier Chelsea about maybe they should say what Tucker had said. I, again, don't know if this all connects, but putting the information out there, because we then also had Tucker, Quinn, and Chemo talking about Chelsea crying, and they said it feels very Leah-ish, right? Like it's something that maybe Leah might be involved with. They also mentioned something about some Leo character, which I think she had gotten in trouble for doing before, and I think it had something to do with the whole young Cedric skit thing that they were doing in the house. I think it was like a character that Leah was playing. Again, don't know 100%, but that's part of what could be the whole situation. And then probably the biggest clue that we have of what's going down is Rubina and T-Core when they were having their 101. Rubina says to T-Core, like, yeah, Chelsea's crying. Someone said something inappropriate about race. And that's our biggest clue of what's happening. Someone said something. We don't know who. Those are some little pieces of where I noticed cams were cutting. It could potentially be one of those things that I just mentioned. It could potentially not. It could be somebody else in the house. We have no idea what it is, but the cams were cutting a lot. We didn't get to see Chelsea's 101 at all, and I'm sure it was a high discussion because apparently she was crying and very upset about it. Again, I don't even want to speculate because the way the things are now, it's like, hey, I wish we had 24/7 uncensored live feeds that we could rewind and see what was said when, and maybe make some good decisions on what actually was said, who said what happened when. But now we just have this big speculation game and we have to kind of nitpick and kind of see. And I don't even want to even go into further speculation because, again, of the things I listed there, there's potentially two people that maybe didn't say anything. Maybe one of them did say something. Maybe Chelsea was crying about something else. We don't know. Maybe she was crying because she had to vote out Brooklyn. We don't know. And because of the way they're handling the feeds this year, all we can do is like guess and point fingers, and it makes everything kind of worse. Yeah, I don't want to even go even really further because who knows? Who knows what the situation is? But yeah. Let's get to what we kind of know about where things potentially could be, because it does kind of stink that we missed out on the Friends meeting. That was the meeting, and I know it happened because it came up for literally like 2 seconds. 2 seconds we saw it was Rubina, T-Core, Quinn, not Quinn, Chemo, and Rubina, and they were all in the HoH room, and it went off again just like that. I was able to actually get a screenshot of the 4 of them in HoH room, so I know it happened. I couldn't believe I even got the screenshot because of how quick it was on, but they didn't show us much. Here's what I think I know, though. First off, this is a hard HoH for Core. 11 people in the house, right? 3 nominees. That means almost a third, right? About a little more than a quarter of the house is going to be nominated this week. That's a lot. Also, if we check out here, I have made a new allegiance chart for the day. She's only got a few options. Obviously, she wants to protect Chelsea. Quinn's kind of on their side. Cam is on their side, someone who would go after Tucker. Because the way I kind of see it is it's going to break down between Visionaries and then you also have the new Friends Alliance, right? And there's kind of a battle there where Chemo and T-Core both kind of know Tucker's got to go at some point, but they're working with Tucker and they're also working with Rubina. But Tucker really is protective of Joseph, so they can't really go after Joseph because of 6th Avenue. Same thing with Angela. MJ and Leah are really the only ones that they're not in an alliance with at all, so you wouldn't be breaking any deals. But again, you need that third nominee. So if Tucker's volunteering, that's great, but he actually doesn't want to volunteer. Chemo doesn't want him up on the block. Rubina doesn't want him up on the block. You see, it's starting to get messy already, right? And when you hand an HOH to someone as indecisive as T-Core, this could be the greatest, worst case of HOH-itis we've ever seen. Also, potentially, if she is smart about it, she could kind of get away with this with a little bit less blood. She's going to have to put somebody on the block, though. Whether it's Joseph, whether it's Cam, whether it's a volunteering Tucker, whether it's Angela, she's going to have to put somebody up. I don't think she wants to put Chelsea up at all. Quinn, I don't think she wants to put up at all. Obviously, Rubina doesn't want to put up at all. But there's only so many options. It's also one of the times, because remember how I said earlier, like, Chelsea shouldn't win this HOH. Cedric shouldn't win this HOH. Anybody else could win this HOH. I kind of think this was actually a pivotal HOH that while T-Core and Chemo could have just stepped back and let it happen, I think what happens during this HOH is so important you couldn't risk anyone else having it, right? This is an HOH you actually want to win, because what if MJ wins it? Do you really know what she's going to do? And she's probably going to go after somebody that's one of your allies, and you don't want that to happen. So while, yeah, she's got to put somebody up on the block and she's going to make an enemy there, I think this was a really important one to keep because she wants to keep Chelsea around. And if, let's say, Joseph won, guess who's probably going up on the block? Chelsea. Same thing where she probably wants to keep Tucker and Rubina safe. But if Chelsea or Cam won, who do you think they're putting up? Tucker or Rubina. So they're in a kind of spot where they wanted to keep both sides safe. You can't let either one win unless you are comfortable with whoever wins. This is the HOH where you win this one, you have control over which way the vote ends up going. Hopefully you can steer it to somebody like an MJ or like a Leah who isn't part of your end game. And you can still kind of go into next week, step back, let the two sides fight, pick whoever wins, and you can go with them. So while you might say, like, Ori, you criticize Chelsea and Cedric for winning HOH, why aren't you criticizing T-Core? You criticize her enough. I actually don't think it was that bad that she won HOH. A shocker, I know. But it could go badly for her. But if she's smart about it, she can do a lot with it. Who do I think she's going to put up? I think at the end of the day, MJ is a lock. I think Leah is going to end up being a lock. And then it's up to whether or not she goes with Cam or she decides to go with Joseph. Because maybe they can spin it now. Maybe Rubina goes, well, Joseph was perfectly fine with Tucker going up. Same thing applies if we put Joseph up, though. We still have the votes, and he won't go anywhere. Even more so because we know if we put Joseph up, Quinn won't vote Joseph out. Even better. So I think it's most likely going to be some combination of MJ, Leah, and then the third nominee being either Cam, Joseph, or Tucker. But again, we don't know because a lot of the feeds have been cut and they're still on We'll Be Right Back. As we're talking right now live, they're not even showing them sleeping. It's on We'll Be Right Back. And why? Because I guarantee you T-Core and Rubina are still up talking. I guarantee you the two of them are still up talking right now. So we'll have to see in the morning, once everybody wakes up, once nominations really get underway today, what ends up happening. But yeah, that concludes the live feed update. We're going to jump into chat here and talk to you guys. I want to hear all of your thoughts about everything I just went over. But also want to just say real quick, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, smash that like button. If you are watching this stream, if you're watching it after the fact, hit that like button. It's the easiest, quickest, most simplest way where you can support the channel, and all it takes is one little click of hitting that like, and that is it. Other than that, you can see Nightbot actually on cue putting my socials in chat there. You can check out Kick and Twitch. I haven't been streaming over there as much. Big Brother season just takes up so much of my time. You guys know I say this just as much as Devin had a daughter and Brooklyn is a married mother. But again, we will get those up and going at some point. Check out Discord. Check out my Twitter. They're great places to keep track of everything going on. Actually, funny enough, I don't think I posted the tweet of the stream. I always do that. I never post the tweet of the stream. I just posted that now. So if you are following me on Twitter, go like and retweet that too. But let's jump in the chat. Let's say hi to everybody. How you guys doing? What's going on? What are you thinking? What do you think of T-Court's plan right now? What do you think of Tucker volunteering but not volunteering? What do you think of all of this? Even what do you think of the feeds being blocked? It is a thing that we have to talk about. Again, I'd appreciate it if we don't speculate too hard, because we don't know anything for 100%. There is no solid information on why the feeds are being blocked. The only thing we can speculate on is what Rubina said to T-Core about there being some kind of inappropriate comment. But like, how can we really discuss it if there's actually no solid information? And it makes it worse that they're blocking it because the speculation would be rampant. And yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. let's talk about other stuff. What are you guys saying? Let's see. Stan, very professional. I try. Me, professional. Get out of here. Z-Dubs, how you doing? Gracie, Ellie, Gundam, Heather, Stanley, blah. Move Chelsea's picture from that place. She looks pregnant? What do you mean? Oh my gosh. She does. I swear I did not do that on purpose. Hold on, let's open up our battle map. We'll fix this because that is rude. that is rude. I swear it's just a pillow. All right, where do we move her now? Let's see. I'll put her like this, right under T-Cork. She's very much T-Core's buddy. All right, that's better. That is better. that is someone who is team Chelsea all the way, looking out for Chelsea. Blah blah. Chelsea owes you for that one. Chelsea owes you. Who just came on in with us with something? L, thank you for coming on in and hitting that sub button. Guess what? We now have a secret alliance. Shh. Don't tell anybody. We are going to the final two. Me and you. Don't listen to anybody else in chat. If they might say things, but trust me, me and you, L, we're going. We're going all the way. All right, let me get my chat back up here. That was hilarious. T-Core should put up MJ, Leah, and Joseph. Gracie, I'm with you. Chelsea hasn't been a have-not this entire season, and I don't know that I've seen her working out. There's also locked in the house multiple days in a row. That is true. I don't think she has been a have-not. So yeah, her time might be coming up. I don't know if there's going to be have-nots. I didn't hear anything about that. I think in fact, the only thing I did hear was T-Core wanted to use the have-not room for her one-on-ones, but it was locked. So that was a thing. T-Core should leave Cam off the block. He could help her get Tucker out later on. That's a good point, Jennifer. That was kind of his pitch too, right? I noticed the weird Chelsea placement too. I didn't say it, I swear. I literally was just like, all right, I'll put these guys here, there, yeah. Never even noticed at all. AJ Brown, what? Devontae Smith, what? Jawan Dotson, what? Yo, Soldier. Unbelievable trade, huh? Unbelievable trade. Like, we didn't give even anything up for him. It was one of those situations too, because it was coming from the commanders. It's like when the third worst person you know does something nice for you, and you're like, oh, well, thank you, I guess. But also, like, why? Like, what is it? Is it poison? Like, I don't understand. Who is MJ? Yeah, Mackenzie. Give Angela and Tucker a break. Decor should put up Chemo, Tucker, and Joseph. Nani, you're even wilder, more chaotic than Tucker. I'm rooted for Tucker. I couldn't watch the episode last night. Did they say who the AI instigator was? No. They're going to tell us that on Sunday's episode. And I expect, actually, that's probably what a lot of Wednesday's 2-hour episode's going to be, is a lot of AI instigator stuff. If anyone who voted Brooklyn for AI instigator, they would they be able to revote? It's a good question, Dilemma. I don't think so. I think you just kind of lose your votes. And it would have been interesting if, like, the number 1 person got AI instigator. I guess it would just go to the number 2 person who got the votes, if they were evicted. If the core puts up MJ, Leah, and Joseph, who would her prime target be? I think MJ. I think that's what her prime target would be MJ. But even then, right, it's like kind of like, whoever. But I think overall the house would end up going with MJ in that one. But even there's another possibility that they could decide to go Joseph, but I think that would be a wild. Over MJ, I think that would be wild decision. Uri, did you eat breakfast yet? I did. I had a quick little bright bite to eat. Got something. But it's been a long night. I think she should play in. I don't like have-nots. I have adjacent empathy for those forced to eat slop. It does take a toll on people, especially when you have to do it multiple weeks. There's been some players who have to do it multiple weeks in a row. I will say, I don't think the way they do slop and have-nots anymore really is that interesting or fun or brings anything to the game. The way they used to do it with actual food competitions, I felt like it caused more drama because you would end up being on a team with somebody, right? And, you know, a great example is BB10. This happened a lot. Where people would end up on the team with Rennie, and they'd be like, dang, like this is not going to be easy, and I'm going to have to eat slop all week long. So it used to, like, cause these, like, weird little, like, feuds and beefs that you had with people, maybe even cause cracks in alliances and people that normally were friends, because it's like, I just want to get rid of this person so I don't have to be on the same team with them anymore, and I don't have to be on slop. I thought that was more interesting when it was actual food competitions on who went on slop and was a have-not. Now it just feels like people, like, volunteer for it, right? Tucker picking Lisa was probably the most fun. That was the most fun thing that we had. Other than that, it's like, what does it add? What does it add to the game? Except he seemed to say he'd align with him this week. So Cam's getting my side eye inch. Oh, he did. So one of the things was Cam said he was going to align with Tucker to get info. And that was his plan, to make like a little deal with him. Has T-Core hinted at a target yet? Honestly, the only one that I can really think of is MJ. That seems to be kind of her main thing. Other than that, not really. But again, we weren't able to get a lot of the good combos that we wanted to see. The two that I really was most interested in seeing tonight was Chemo and T-Core's conversation, which we didn't really get to see that one after everybody had their one-on-ones, because that would have revealed a lot of information. And we didn't get to see the friends with Forzies. We didn't get to see that either. Those were both blocked from us, and they would have been the most interesting and informative, but sadly we didn't see it. Just Mahomes won a Super Bowl with wide receivers who had feet for hands. PT, you ain't wrong there. Put up Tucker, Rubina, and Joseph. Ooh, Ronald also loves the chaos. What time zone am I in? East Coast. East Coast time zone. If Tucker volunteers, he'll be the target. That's the thing, Lisa. I don't think he should go anywhere near the block. Way too dangerous for him to be on the block. And technically, like, they do have a point where there are some votes, right? Like, if Tucker ended up on the block with MJ and Leah, right, for example, and he doesn't win AI and ends up being him and MJ, right? I think Angela would vote to keep Tucker. Joseph would vote to keep Tucker. Rubina would vote to keep Tucker. Chemo would vote to keep Tucker. That's 4. That's all you need. But again, all it would take is Joseph to decide, you know what, maybe now is the time to take out Tucker. I don't think he would, but it is something that could happen. So yeah, I think it's just way too dangerous, even though technically with the alliance of the 6th Ave, they should have the numbers where it shouldn't matter. But Tucker's too juicy of a target. You just can't let that be a thing. Where were we? I think maybe we'll see Zingbot in the Wednesday second hour. Ooh, potentially. Now, when Zingbot does come into the house, I don't know how many of you guys have been around here for a few seasons now. We have, for 2 years in a row, had an exclusive interview with Zingbot here on this channel, where he actually gave us zings for the previously evicted house guests that didn't get zings on the show because they weren't in the house. And he writes them for everybody, so might as well share them. Yeah, I'll have to see if Zingbot is available to do another interview this year when he shows up. And I don't know if I'm ready for it. He did get me pretty good the last few times, because he zings me too, and sometimes it stings. Oh no, not the prime talk, right? They blocked out all the good talks, all the good conversations that we wanted done. They blocked them all out. Tucker would be wise not to volunteer this week. I agree. Who are the have-nots? They didn't really mention. It doesn't seem like there are going to be any this week. Just like how like 2 weeks ago there wasn't. So it seems like they might not be there. The have-nots should be discontinued. I kind of agree, right? If you're not going to do something fun with them, why have them? I agree on the slop thing. Keep saying it. Get it together, BB. For the 2-hour episode, Rap speculates it could be an episode kind of like the long buddy game episode. Yes. So that's what I was kind of saying, where it's basically just like extra stuff in there. And I think actually last season they did like 2, right? So there was the buddy games one, but there was also just one random one that was 2 hours. There wasn't anything extra special to it. It just was a 2-hour episode. Like, it didn't need to be 2 hours, but it was a 2-hour episode. So it could be something like that, but also I don't know if there's anything coming out recently. Like, if there's a good show coming out that you could go, oh, this show's about to come out on Wednesdays, yeah, I would understand. But as far as I know, I don't think there's anything coming out at the moment. But yeah, who knows? Too many people are saying it's a prize comp sponsored by the Summit. Potentially, right? It could be anything, right? We don't really know. But it'll be, I guess, interesting to see what it turns out to be nonetheless. I totally lost where I was. I lost where I was, guys. I'm sorry. We're jumping to the bottom of the chat. We're jumping on down. Lisa says, do not volunteer, Tucker. Sarah, yeah, I'm wondering what was the HoH. Oh, I didn't even, I guess, mention what the HoH was, did I? It was a competition that was like videos they had to watch of themselves on the feeds, like things that they did. And then they had to answer questions about it afterwards. Apparently, T-Core won in like 3 questions. Like, that's all it took her to win. So I guess either people threw or they weren't getting them right and she was. But either way, she ended up winning it pretty quickly and pretty definitively, I think. Maybe a double eviction Wednesday. So I don't think so. I don't think it will be a double eviction or anything like that. And I don't think we're going to get a double eviction this week because they would have They would have promoted that. Usually when a double eviction's coming up, they promote it on the last eviction episode because they want to get that next episode, because like double evictions are a big ratings draw for them, right? Like people tune in if they're gonna miss an episode, or if they're gonna watch an episode live, they're gonna make sure it's the double eviction episode, right? So they usually announce that type of thing. I predict the double eviction will probably not be this week, and it probably won't be next week, because again, I think it's going to be a 7-person jury. I think it might be like either the first eviction of the jury, right, where it's 2 people going to jury, or we get the first person jury, and then the next one is 2 people going, so we go from 1 person in jury to 3 people in jury in 2 weeks. That would be my best guess on when it's going to happen. But they do like to switch it up sometimes, right? Like one of the things that I don't think they would do is, for example, not this week, but let's say it's next week, right? We'd be going from, what would it be? 10 to 9 people in the house, meaning the first person evicted would not be in the jury. The second person evicted in the double then would be in the jury, which I just don't think they would do. I think they've done that before, but for some reason, I don't know. It feels like that wouldn't be how they would do it, but it would really probably shock them a little bit, right? It might throw them for a loop, thinking like, hey, the double's not coming. Like if I was in the house, that would be a good way to surprise me with a double eviction, because I would know this information as well if I'm going in the house. So if you jumped a double eviction there, that might be one I would say, yeah, you know what? That got me. That one got me. I didn't think that was going to be a thing, but it happened then. Where were we here? Cam said that the Pentagon was going down, and he had to get a new plan, and Tucker would be a good option since he's winning so much, because he's here to win. I was like, you are. It's a good point. It's a good point. Honestly, T-Core's best move right now is to nominate Leah, MJ, and Angela with a Tucker backdoor plan. Mars. Wait, you don't think Rubina's going to be upset about that, though? I don't think T-Core and Chemo can be the ones to backdoor Tucker. They can't do that. They need Chelsea to do it. They need Quinn to do it. They need Cam to do it. They can't be the ones to pull that trigger. I don't think they can do that. It'd be crazy if they did, but I don't think they can do it. They probably should. You lose Rubina, but also I don't know if they can do that. Plus, with the backdoor right now with the AI, it's such a risk. Like there's such a good chance that he's going to win the AI, and then you're done, right? You are done for. Zingbot should get Kenny and Cam good. Oh, don't you worry, Stin. I've already got a few things. Well, Zingbot, Zingbot's already told me a few things. Shh. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. You never heard anything. The summit, yeah, I don't know what the summit is. I guess maybe it's a new game, new show coming on out. The way Brooklyn, Cam, and Chelsea struggled in the AI arena had me gagging to the point production said, here's the answer. You aren't wrong. You aren't wrong, Gracie. It was hard, though. I would have struggled, too. I had 2 of them, but all of them had 2 of them. That third one, I had no clue even when Chelsea got it. Survivor starts in a few weeks. Maybe a placeholder when that comes out. That's a possibility. That is a strong possibility, actually. Carson, oh no. Every so often the chat jumps on me and I lost my spot. I lost my spot. Let's jump down to the bottom. Lisa says, Quinn probably wants to be the one to get Tucker out. I think he would love to be the one to get Tucker out. Lisa A says, will T-Core care if she's upset with her when she's the one telling her to knock it off? She's the one telling her to knock it off. That's true, right? I don't think T-Core would care, but also if Rubina is upset, is Rubina going to want to work with you now, right? You just took out her showmans. It's not like they're just, flirting at this point. The condom box is open. once you pop, the fun don't stop. it's like a bag of Pringles. It's like a Pringles tube. I don't mean like I don't know. I haven't seen it, but like I imagine Tucker's pretty good. I mean, he's got that kind of energy. where I would think it could be like like one of those like fun size Pringle cans, like the ones that you could get for like lunch when you were in school. It's just like the little one. It's only got like 5 chips in it. It's like why did they even have that Pringle can? I don't know why that was a thing. Nobody wants just 5 Pringles. Who is satisfied after 5 Pringles? Like that is the most ridiculous package that they could have had. But I don't know what Tucker's Pringle package would be. But once you pop, the fun don't stop. Cam doesn't do anything. He started doing stuff last night. It's like Cam turned 25 last night. I don't know what happened to him. But he started playing last night. Where were we here? Rubina is not winning anything, so I wouldn't be afraid of heavy action after I put Tucker. I mean, that's a fair point. She hasn't shown that she's winning anything. That's true. Dying to see Cam would have to do something. Love him, but he's just hanging out. He started. I'm telling you. Last night he started to do stuff. Let's see. Cam is a potted plant. If Cam sees the letters HoH, he'd ask to buy a vowel. That's a good one. Tucker reminds me of my son. Very obnoxious. Clam's just over here roasting. She's like, yo, my son? So obnoxious. That's fantastic. Your poor son's just catching strays over here. Cam was telling Chelsea that Tucker is with Rubina, T-Core, and Chemo. Cam was clocking people. He was telling Chelsea that T-Core and Chemo are in a great spot. They're so well insulated, and that they were the ones that were that weren't afraid to go after Tucker. Was Cam, Chelsea, Quinn, and maybe even Leah. So Cam all of a sudden put his thinking cap on. He really turned around. I don't know what happened. I think he turned 25, and that's the only explanation I have. The third answer in the AI arena everyone got wrong was just written backwards. Is that what it was, Jack? Because I didn't get it. I did not get it. Also, Summit is a new show premiering right after Survivor, taking its fall slot, only with no Amazing Race. Interesting. They're doing way more than flirting now. Brown chicken, brown cow. Oh no, it jumped. Oh no, where are we? All right, we'll have to jump down to the bottom here. Where are we at here? Kaz says Cam said he's used to always winning, not losing. Well, I mean, he went to Penn State, and like, I'll be honest, they didn't win that much. They didn't win that much when he was at Penn State. That was not a super winning team. In fact, they're known for losing a lot of games they should have won. That is actually probably opposite of what Cam should be saying. He's probably very used to losing at this point, I would say. Uri, will you start letting us know how everyone is doing with their picks? Oh yeah. So if you go to bb.house, you can check all the stuff with the draft. Let me see. Can I pull it up? Where is the one that would let me pull it up? It would be this one, I believe. bb.house. Oh. see. Okay. It doesn't look like it's updated just yet for the newest one. Let me make sure this is gonna go to the right one when I share this. Move this. Move this. Do that. There we go. There we go. So yeah, bb.house. You can go over to the draft section. You could type your name in here, and you can see how many points you have at the moment to easily find it. You can see it's updated right now, currently to the HoH. We haven't gotten the nominations, the veto in there yet, but we'll get those up and running as well fairly soon. But yeah, draft's going well. Draft's going well. My personal draft is not going well. I'm going to be honest. I lost Cedric last week. Chelsea is one of my other ones, and she was in danger this week. And then my third pick is Leah. I'll be honest, I think I'm kind of cooked. I think my draft is done. URL is this here. I'll post it up in the chat so you guys can go check it out if you like. There you go. Where were we? Totally lost where I was. We'll jump down to the bottom. When will we know noms? So noms will be today at some point. Usually like early afternoon, right? Like their time around maybe like noon, 1 o'clock. We should have the nomination ceremony. Sometimes it's later, sometimes it's a little earlier. It all kind of just depends on what the schedule they're running with. And I think for the most part, though, we can say MJ's a lock. I feel like Leah's a lock. And then again, that third nominee is the big question mark. I don't think it's going to be Tucker. I think Chemo and Rubina are going to push against that. Plus, Tucker himself is going to push against that. I think it would end up either being Joseph or Cam as that third nominee. But it would be interesting to see where that would go. The jinx is real. Guys, I don't want to jinx people anymore. I don't want to do it. But if Joseph ends up on the block and Joseph ends up going this week, that would probably be like in a row, like the fifth person. I keep jinxing everybody. I got Brooklyn. I got Joseph early in the game when he sank down. So many people I have jinxed, and it's kind of a problem. Kind of a problem that I got. Where were we? The Cam saying the Cam saying we'll be right back so much even over the night because they are recording the instigator antics. I wish that's why. I believe what is happening is there's kind of a sensitive topic that Big Brother doesn't want us to know about. I covered it a little bit earlier in the thing, and I don't want to speculate too much on it because we don't have actually that much good information. All we know for sure, Rubina told T-Core when they were discussing that Chelsea was upset and crying that possibly someone said something inappropriate about race. Who, what, when, why, like what all the details were, we don't know. That's the only thing we actually know. There were some comments about Tucker had said something. Cam was telling Chelsea, like, hey, should we tell T-Core about what Tucker said? There was also a conversation with Tucker, Chemo, and Quinn talking about Chelsea being upset and it being Leah related. But again, I don't want to get too much into speculation. I just wanted to give you guys kind of like the facts that we do know. And I don't want to run with it because, again, in those facts that I just gave you, there's two people who we don't know who said what it was said or anything. So I'd rather not even try and speculate too much. But that is why the feeds are being cut. We got no Chemo and T-Core conversation after all of her one-on-ones. That was cut. We didn't get Chelsea and T-Core's one-on-one. That was cut. And then we also didn't get what was it? The Friends combo. That was cut as well. Norm, the stash scares me. Nobody, listen, if you're a member of the Oreos, nobody go and use your emote right now. nobody use the stash emote in chat. Definitely don't use the stash emote if you have it. Where were we? I wish people would stop saying first double. That's the thing. You don't know if there's going to be 2 doubles or not. You never know if even there's going to be a double, really. You would always assume, like, yeah, like, we got to do a double eviction, right? But maybe we end up with a situation where somebody's going to be kicked out here soon. We don't know. Maybe they got to make up for other time. Maybe there will be a buyback. We've got no clue. I really want Joseph to be evicted, says Tay Swift. Did you see where Paulie from the challenge had a concussion from where they smashed into each other's heads? I didn't see that, but actually, let's talk a little bit about the challenge. Who has been watching the challenge 40? Because, man, it's good this season. If you haven't been watching, I'll give a little bit of non-spoiler conversation about this. First off, the cast is great. The whole theme is eras. So they've got 40 seasons broken up into 4 eras, each era being about 10 seasons long. So you've got, era 1, it's people like CT, Darrell, Derek, Anissa, Mark, Brad, a lot of great legends. Then you've got era 2, Bananas, who else is on era 2? Paulie's girlfriend, Cara Maria. Who else is on 2? There's a bunch of people on 2. Then you got era 3, which is like Devin, Jordan, Tori. Then you got era 4, which is people like Casey and Josh, like Michelle from Survivor, like the newer kind of era. And what they've done is the first episode was kind of like a big challenge to decide like who like the top people were in each era, and then who the bottom people were. They would go into elimination, and then the top people would vote 2 other people to face them. So each era was doing this, meaning the second episode was 4 different eliminations for each man and woman, and they were the classic eliminations. We're talking pole wrestle, hall brawl, balls in. It was all the best like banger ones. They even did the one where they have to put like all the stuff in front of the door and tie the knots, and then they switch, and then they got to get in the door and press that button. So it was like all these great matchups. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been watching Challenge 40, check it out. The first 2 episodes were so good. So good. And you got drama because, again, all the eras are nominating each other, and a lot of these people on the eras are all friends. They've been friends for seasons now, and that's kind of the big draw of the challenge, right? You have these long-going seasons and seasons and seasons of backstory and rivalries. It's almost like like wrestling, like WWE, where there's these long rivalries that come together to tell these kind of really interesting stories because of what's happening. And man, it was fantastic. So good. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's fantastic. Where were we? Completely probably lost where I was, so we'll jump on down. We'll jump on down. Did you enjoy Hide and Go Veto? Was excited for the return, but disappointed me. Jack, I'm kind of with you, right? It was a little underwhelming, and I feel like we kind of hyped it up because we had missed it for so long. But that doesn't mean I don't want to see it back again, right? Like, I absolutely want to see it back again. I think it's a fun competition overall. But, like, it's one of those things where I think it was more of, like, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And because it was gone for so long, we were so excited that it kind of underdelivered. But yeah, I definitely want to see it back. It was Tucker, and they're protecting him because... so that's the thing. We don't know. And I don't want to speculate because we just don't know. We just don't. And they would protect probably anybody. They kind of do that for anybody now at this point, especially with how much they are cutting back on the feeds. Like, one of the big reasons why we don't have the rewind anymore is because of that. So it's like, it's rough. Where were we here? Ronald, hey Uri, what do you think about Big Brother Australia? I've never really watched Big Brother Australia. I checked out, you know what season I checked out? Because I knew Tim from when he played on BB Can. And I know he was like a big Australian Big Brother player. And they did like a season where he came back and played Big Brother Australia. So I tried to watch that. And I'll be honest, I couldn't get through it. I lasted like 3 weeks of that season, and then I stopped. But what I do like in Australia is Australian Survivor. If you have not watched Australian Survivor and you miss old school Survivor, go check out Australian Survivor. They're doing good stuff over there. It's really good. Highly recommend it. Pick any of the seasons and you'll have fun with it. The most recent season is one of the perfect ones to go watch because it's all newbies. So there's not like, returning players or anything like that. You can just jump into it and enjoy it. Highly, highly recommend it. I see the question of how do you stream it? Man, if only there was like this website, First of all, are you working for Derek or Kenny? If you're working for Derek or Kenny, I can't tell you. I can't tell you this information. If you're working for Derek or Kenny, it's a no. But if you're not working for Derek or Kenny, if only there was a site that was like a video brother, but like not video brother. Maybe if like you flip that, like maybe that would be better. Or actually, no, I think I just said it. YouTube's going to get mad at me. I think I just said it straight. I meant to say those in reverse. Paramount did used to have the Survive in Australia, but they took it down. It's such a shame. But yeah, or if you shut turkey, no. Shut it down. I need to go. I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing. But maybe if you need help with something, maybe hit me up on Discord or Twitter or something like that. Maybe people have hit me up on Twitter, and I've shared before. What's brother video? I don't know. What is brother video? maybe flip and reversal. I don't know. We need golden BB. That would be pretty good. Let's see, where were we here? Who won HoH? T-Core. T-Core won HoH. Oh crap, somebody beat me to it. Lisa, Google those two words in reverse. Yeah, maybe you might find something. Or if you need to hit me up on Twitter or Discord, maybe I can find something for you. We can help you out. I was also thinking, so there's going to be 2 new seasons of Survivor Australia coming up. I believe they're filming them this summer. They might have already filmed it already. One of them is all newbies. The other one I'm really excited for. It's going to be Survivor Australia. Originally, it was Survivor Australia versus Survivor US. But now I think they're marketing it as Survivor Australia versus the world. And it's going to have Survivor players from US. They've already had like one Survivor US player on there and a relative. I don't want to do too many spoilers if anybody wants to go watch, but there has been people who have crossed over. And I'm really excited about those 2 seasons. When they come out, you're definitely going to want to follow me on Kick. That is definitely a place you're going to want to be. Because maybe we'll check them out when they come out. Maybe we'll we'll have another way you can watch things. Yeah, maybe follow on Kick for great content later when that comes out. I don't know when the season's premiere, but that should be fun. Let's see, where were we? Would you bring back, who would you bring back for Big Brother Second Chance? That's a good question, Tommy. That's a good question. I think the biggest one I still think is like the fact that he never got a second chance because he never really got a first chance. Eric Stein, BB8, he was America's player. He never really got to play his own game. I want to see what he would do actually playing his own game. He's probably a little bit long gone now at this point for the second chance. I don't know if he would come back. So to give you one that's maybe a little bit later, who do I want to see have a second chance that's more modern? Ooh, it's tough. It's tough. Immediately, somebody who like jumps to my mind, and I think it would be kind of interesting, would be Heisem. I feel like Heisem, his only real issue was his alliance decided he was too much of a comp threat, so they voted him out to keep other comp threats who weren't in their alliance. It was like one of the dumbest moves they could have made. So I would love to see Heisem get another shot, right? I feel like that is good. Izzy's a great shot, right? Izzy just so chaotic. Imagine Izzy and Tucker on the same season. Oh my gosh. Imagine Izzy, Tucker, and imagine Izzy on this season with Izzy and T-Core. Could you just imagine? It would be insane. Izzy's one of the players who I don't think gets as much credit for making the feeds as fun as they were for the pre-jury of BB25. And one of the big reasons why BB25 went downhill was when we lost Izzy. Because Izzy made that season fun. She made that season a lot of fun. Cedric would be another one who would be interesting. I would like to see him get another shot. Because he volunteered. Like, there was no reason for him to volunteer. Why'd he do that? Let's see. I think people are put together for a reason. 100%. They put different people in the cast together for a reason. It's very much like a puzzle that they put together to try and get the most entertainment. Matt needs a second chance. It would be greatness to have Izzy and Tucker. I want to hate him, but I can't. Tries to send fun to Ori funds, but it says error. Oh no. No worries, Norma. It's okay if you can't. But here we can see. We'll do this. That should give you a link. I think actually when I type this, I think it's going to end up giving two different links to both of the two links for the Ori. Yeah, it's two different links. Both of them I think technically work. I need to fix that. But both of them work. Both of them are legit. But no one ever is required or needed. If you want to support the stream, the easiest thing you could do is smash that like button. There's a thumbs up button down there. Smash that. If you're new here, if you've been hanging out with us, hit that subscribe button if you're new. If you were not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? We give daily live feed updates first thing every morning right here on this channel. Every Thursday, we go live for the live eviction. We do a watch party. Every Friday morning, we're here live like this. You get that same daily live feed update, kind of that nice to the point chunk in the beginning, I usually try and get it under a half hour. My goal is always to try and get it nice and short for you guys. You get that, and then on Friday afterwards, we have a nice combo like this. And I love doing these live streams because they're just so much fun hanging out with you guys. We talked about it kind of in one of my other videos where it is just probably my greatest part of my day. Like, just doing these videos, hanging out with you guys, chatting about BB. I just have so much fun doing this. Other things too, if you want to support, you can, again, check out the Ori Fund. There's no need, but if you do feel inclined, you can. You can join the channel, become an Oreo, an official Oreo. A couple of the perks, you do get a nice green name, and I think actually it advances. You get a different color for your name, I think, the longer you are a member of the channel. You also get things like the Joseph Stash emote that you're welcome to use in chat. You can see I just put in there. I need to get some better perks. If anybody has suggestions for like emotes that you would want to see in chat and stuff like that, let me know, because I could do that. Other ways too, you can do exclamation throne, and you can find a link to my throne account where if you wanted to get a gift, you could do that too. But again, none of that is required. It's always appreciated so much, but never required. The easiest, the biggest, best thing you could do, hit that thumbs up button. It lets YouTube know that what we're doing here is fun and that other people should check it out. Enough of the Ori shilling. Let's get back to your comments. Do you think we're in jury? I don't think so, Super. We'll find out officially on Thursday. Because if Julie doesn't say it before the eviction, then we're not in jury. I, though, think we're going to do a 7-person jury again. And also, I kind of like 7-person juries. I think that's kind of the best like balance of like pre-jury and jury members. I feel like it makes jury an accomplishment, not just like, most of the house gets the jury, you know? He was fine till he was on the block and Quinn blew up his game, outing the Pentagon, right? Cedric was doing great. He was doing great. And then, oh man, just all kinds of messed up. Any idea who will be on the block? I would imagine it's most likely MJ Leah, and then some combination with the third nominee being either Joseph or Cam. Potentially Tucker does agree to go up as a pawn, but I don't think so. You could even maybe throw Angela in the mix for that third nominee as well. But I think MJ and Leah are almost locks to be nominated. I wish Donnie would get another chance. The 3 players, Derek, Frankie, and Donnie. Poor Donnie was on the outs. The America's players, that's right. He was part of that too. And Donnie was fun. Donnie was a lovable guy. I will say maybe Donnie's not the best player, but he was a lovable guy, and he was on the outs. So maybe if he wasn't on the outs, maybe he could get some more stuff going. If he comes on back, people would be more willing to work with him and trust him. Could be a thing. Roy, Ori, have you you have the veto now. You need an HoH key. Ori hates phones. Did that autocorrect? You're right though, Glam. I have this. My very own power of veto. This was gotten to me by a viewer, someone who was a subscriber of the channel. They went the throne, and they got me a power of veto. Let me put this in here. That might work. It might not work. I don't know. But Throne's a cool thing. You can check out like all different kind of stuff that I have on there. It's like some stuff is just like things that would like help production. I think I have like lights on there and like a new microphone and stuff like that. But you can also suggest things. Like if there was something you were like, yo, Ori, you would like this, someone should get this for you. You can like suggest items for me to put on there. An HoH robe, I think you could suggest that, right? But again, never required, always appreciated, but 100% never required. Hit that thumbs up button. That is the biggest thing you can do. Where were we here? Dunny oriates phones. I love Izzy. She was a loyal soldier for Suri, and funny AF. She definitely was. Ori is definitely worth the subscription if you're a Big Brother fan. This is where I get all my BB info. Love to hear it, Josh. Thank you for that. Are you proud of T-Core? Do you trust T-Core and Chemo not to flip again? I am proud of T-Core, Eddie. During the update, I let you guys know how proud I was of her for winning. It was so beautiful. She's so strong, and it was amazing. It was kind of funny, all the people crying. But yeah, I'm proud of her. I actually gave her credit. I criticized Chelsea. I criticized Cedric for their winning of those HOHs. I didn't think that they should have or needed to win that. I actually see a reason why T-Core should have won this. If people on either side of the house that she's working with would have gotten the power, they would have taken shots at people who were also their allies. T-Core winning this, she can kind of control it. She can choose to draw that line in her sand for whoever she wants, or she can take an easier shot, hopefully get out someone like MJ or Leah, and let that battle kind of be pushed down the line for someone else to take the shot at either side. So I actually think this is an HOH that is a good one to win for T-Core in this week. That said, just like any HOH, a bad HOH can really ruin your game. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Where were we? Not the stash, Ori. Izzy was a ride or die. Lisa Arnold was ride or die. I missed that. Might have been yeah, because Lisa said that she was a loyal soldier for Suri. She was. Absolutely, she was a ride or die for her. Don't mess this up, T-Core. 100% songs. Don't mess this up. She was a beast. Thank you. Donnie was a hoot. He was. If it's been 2 months of gameplay before the first jury member got to vote, they don't necessarily know about a lot of the moves. 100%, Daniel, right? So that's the thing. When you have 9 jury members, they're so far removed from the end game that it's like, what are we really voting on, right? So when you do it at 7 jury members, at least it pushes it a little bit closer. People are a little bit more of aware what kind of dynamics were going on in the house. Like MJ right now. Do you really think MJ has a full grasp on what the game is and who played the best game and who should decide who wins and loses this game? I don't think so. She's like 3 weeks behind on some of her information. Now, will she get filled in jury? Absolutely. But does that make her a confident, capable jury member? I don't really think so. I don't think so. Now, give her time. If she makes the jury and she's been going through some stuff, yeah, you know what? Not only does she deserve to be there, she earned her spot, but also she'd have much more of a hopefully better understanding of the game. Now, there's some people, it doesn't matter how far they go in the game, they're never going to have a good grasp on what's happening, and that's a whole nother story. But also, sometimes those are the people you want to get rid of before jury, so you don't have to count on their vote. Where are we here? Don't give Tucker a chance for veto. I need another reason. I need another season with Frankie. He already had RD games. Where were we? It jumped on me. Cameron from last season. I see noms being MJ, Cam, and Leah. Potentially Donald. That is a good bet. Glam. Hit that like button. I'm glad Brooklyn is gone and didn't make it to jury. Is that Rubina? Is that why Rubina was crying? So Rubina was crying, yeah, because T-Core won HOH and she was so proud of her. Which also was funny because while I was watching it, I was like, wait, why is Rubina and Chemo crying? I was like, who won HOH that they're this sad about? And then I realized very quickly they were tears of joy. T-Core, do we know what HOH comp? So yeah, it was videos of them in the house, like from the feeds, right? Like basically just clips from the feeds. And then they would ask them questions about what they just saw. And she won in like 3 questions. Like she won real quick. That was annoying last night. You think they'll have a montage of everyone crying in the episode? Absolutely, Stanley. Absolutely. Do you do challenge videos? You know, Robin, I did at one point. But they never felt like there was much traction where people were interested in them. So I ended up not doing them anymore. But you know, hopefully maybe we can start just adding it into as a section on the Friday shows, and we can kind of chat about what's happening. Homework for all of you in chat right now. Watch the Challenge 40 so we can talk about it next Friday. Good morning and thank you for the update. Just Jesse, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Do you think the feeds will stay off until wake up call? Possibly. Possibly the house has spoken. It is definitely a thing. When we'll get them back, I don't know. Hopefully sooner than later, but you can't say for sure. MJ likely going to be going uh-oh. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see. Phone. Doing a thing here, guys. Let's see. Just making sure of a thing. YouTube's being weird. But I think we're good there. Where were we here? We'll jump down. Dudley says, has been good. Oh, Challenge 40 has been good. I see Leah, MJ, and Cam as the noms. Ori, I love your homework. House of Villains. Yes. Nani? Is that how you say that? I might be saying that right. Might be saying that wrong. You guys know, if you've been here a long time, you know I'm terrible with names. I'll try and get it right, but I'm terrible. House of Villains. Absolutely. House of Villains. I'm excited for the new season. It's going to have Richard Hatch. It's going to have Jesse from BB10. It's going to have Wes from the Challenge. It's going to be a really good season. What do we got here? Arlene coming on in with a super chat. Glad you are feeling better. Yes, I'm feeling so much better. I woke up the other day and I just felt like crap. My nose was all stuffed up. I had like a drip. I think it was like allergies and lack of sleep. I just think all of it caught up on me and it was just too much. I got some good medicine. I got some good sleep and I felt a million times better. And I've been feeling better ever since. Where were we here? I saw Dina was in the chat. I can't wait for all of the we're gonna hear. Dina, 100%. Also, guys, if you don't know Dina the Explorer, go check her out. She's got a great channel. She does BB videos as well. She's awesome. Love Dina and her takes on all this stuff. Uri, I watched a TikTok live with Hetty, maybe that's Cedric. And he said he went up because he thought Quinn had a vote until Wednesday night. Bad idea to volunteer, but he didn't think it was possible to go home until Wednesday. There was a lot of confusion with that, and I wonder what that actually was. We talked about that a little bit on the video where, one, the power should have been secret, right? So, like, all information should have been, like, need-to-know basis anyway. But if Quinn had a question about whether or not he had a vote, he should have been told that. And also, if he had a question on whether or not he had one, he should get a good answer for it. So I don't know where the confusion all came, because even we were confused. Like, watching the feeds, we didn't know either. So I don't know. Also, if Quinn was actually lying, which I don't think he was, I also think if you're not going to make the powers have to be a secret, I think lying about the powers is fair game. So if, for example, Quinn did do that on purpose, I don't think he did. I think that's fair game, right? I think that's totally fair by the rules they set forth. My perfect version, the powers are secret and you wouldn't have to worry about it in the first place. But it is what it is. How do you watch Challenge 40? I believe you can watch it on Paramount Plus. You can also watch, I think, on the MTV's website for free. They just put them out later, but I'm not 100% on that. Also, Norma, if you need help, I can maybe find you a way. There's always a way, Norma. Tucker be mad at T-Core's noms calling it now. Potentially. He potentially will be. Quinn having a vote doesn't change change anything. It did, though, because it made it be a tie vote potentially for Cedric to go. And I think that was one of the big reasons why T-Core and Chemo even decided to flip in the first place, because they knew it could no longer be a tie vote anymore. So that was actually a big thing. When that information came out, it really started to make people actually take the flip seriously, because no more was there like a chance that you could flip and it not work. It actually was like, oh wait, we have the numbers now. If Chemo and T-Core decide to flip, it just works. There's no tie. There's nothing that would happen. So it did change a lot. Where were we here? I hope MJ goes or show us the man cave. Silly Cedric, never volunteer, period. That's true. Never volunteer. You said Nani, right? Yes. Carlson, but that's his reasoning. Oh, yeah, that's his. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. You're replying to Tommy. Otter. Appreciate him. Glad you're enjoying. Wes will be fantastic for House of Villains, but I don't want to see him go out like Bananas or Bananas on Traders. Yeah, Bananas on Traders was rough, but I called that. As soon as I saw Bananas and Dan were on the season, I was like, one of the two of them, whoever isn't a traitor, because one of them will be a traitor. Whoever isn't, gone. They're immediately getting sniped. Same Ori. I love Dina. Dina's great. Feeds are also cut during Cam and Chelsea's. Yes, they were. And that was another situation, too. Don't know exactly what's going on, but it's like, damn. I don't even want to speculate too much. Cam was talking about Quinn and then said after AI and what happened in the bathroom, he said he was, and Feeds cut, right? Like, I don't know if that was just a... Because here's the thing. How many times, right? How many times do the feeds cut for nothing at all, and we have no idea why they cut, and it was nothing nefarious. They were just cutting because they were cutting, right? Maybe it was that. Maybe it is to do with why the feeds are cut even more extendedly now. I don't know, and I don't want to speculate because it's like someone might have said something, but also there's a bunch of other people in there who didn't say a thing, and I don't want to point a finger at somebody for slivers of information that we can't confirm. And it just kind of stinks that it's the situation like this, because when you don't have a lot of information, it causes even more speculation and just makes things worse in the long run. But, you know, that's where we're at right now. Thanks for the shout out. Anytime, Dina. You're awesome. Rabina overdone it on her crying. Sorry, it was disturbing. It was ugly cries. It was ugly cries for sure. Tucker was getting in on it. Chemo was getting in on it. How to super chat? I think there's like a thing in the corner down there, next to like the emotes. But Norma, you don't need to do nothing. I appreciate you just being here, Norma. I seriously don't know why she would not take a shot at Tucker. It's seriously getting annoying. Everyone's kissing Tucker's butt. Well, I think the big reason right now why T-Core wouldn't take a shot at Tucker is Rubina. And even though she's trying to drive that wedge between Rubina and Tucker, she can't take that shot. Because if she takes that shot, it's like taking a shot at Rubina, right? She just can't do that. She'd be completely blowing up her thing with Rubina, and she likes Rubina, and she wants to work with Rubina. So it's a thing. I think she wants to use this HoH to take that shot at someone like MJ or Leah and kind of push that burden of taking a shot at either side to next week, so there's not that much blood on her hands. But yeah, I don't know. It would be it's a thing. They're going to need to take a shot at Tucker soon, but I don't think while the AI arena is up, I don't think it's the play, because you gotta count on him not winning AI, and then if you're gonna backdoor him, he still has that shot at AI, right? So it's not even like it's like, all right, well, he can't play veto and we can just put him up. No, because he's got that shot at AI, and it's like, there's a good chance he's gonna win, right? Like, he's good at comps. The mist will be in full effect. I'm aware he's delusional about how many people wanted to keep Rubina. He mentioned that he didn't want Rubina to go up in another interview. He wanted Leah to go up. And so, Tommy, that's the thing. He wanted Leah to go up. T-Core wanted Leah to go up. Emo wanted Leah to go up. Why did they never say anything to Quinn? Why? And that's my big thing. All of this that happened, almost everything that happened, all of the blow-ups, all the alliances getting blown, the Pentagon, the collective, all of it can all go back to they could have gotten Quinn to put up Leah. They had all the dirt on her. They could have gotten him to do it. But instead, they sat back and they didn't do anything, and they waited. And then when he put Rubina on the block instead, they were mad about it. And it's like, yeah, you could have done something earlier. You said it right. Let's see, where were we? No Paramount Plus. Oh, the Challenge 40 isn't on Paramount Plus? That's a shame. It'll be on Paramount Plus later in a few months. No. So much free on the internet. There's so much. Donald, you are right. Unless you're working for Derek or Kenny, then I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm guessing we didn't get after show feeds. Yeah, there weren't after show feeds, Aaron. Went right to just the puppies until HoH came back. And yeah, I don't know what happened during it. It could have been involved with why the feeds are off for a long time, but again, it's hard to really even know. Or I need to find a way. Obviously, I'm on the Who Said Brother. So you might have found something. You might have found something, I guess. Lisa, if you're still having issues though, hit me up on Twitter or hit me up on Discord. I'll help you out. I'll give you a more direct answer. YouTube just gets mad. YouTube, they don't like when I do that stuff. I'm standing on the fact that Brooklyn wanted Rubina to go to get at Tucker was the main reason that Cedric went home. I put it on T-Core, right? T-Core and Chemo. And especially if other people, right, if they would have expressed their thoughts to Cedric would have agreed, right? So why would they not at least express their thoughts of, hey, maybe we put Leah up? If they do that, they get numbers on their side in their alliance, and they get people to go along with it. But I don't know. Maybe I just see things different. They say, I say they cut for the show. They cut the feeds when Ravina got a plate of food, right? Like they cut the feeds for anything. Derek is going to be on the Traders 3. Can't wait. No join button. Bunch of mother truckers. I wouldn't take a shot at Tucker until I'm right there with you, Matt. I think you don't take a shot at Tucker until AI's over. I sent you oh, Norma, thank you so much. I appreciate yourself a big tube of Pringles. Rubina wants to play her own game. Norma, that was very kind of you as well. You did not have to do that, but I appreciate it. Rubina wants to play her own game, so she might take Tucker leaving as an opportunity. Potentially, I just think it's too early. And she expressed that to Chemo already, where she's like, not now, it's too early. And Chemo agreed. He could have just been yesing her, right? But he was agreeing in the moment. Who won HoH? T-Core. Uh-oh. I think I lost my spot. We're jumping down to the bottom. We're jumping down to the bottom. Or you were the first YouTuber to answer every one of my questions. I appreciate you and being so genuine. I try. Thank you for that. I try to get all the. I don't get to every comment. I when I first started on YouTube, I used to go and answer every single comment, and then there started to be too many of them, and I couldn't get to everyone anymore. And even now, while we're hanging out in this stream, there's just too many sometimes. But I try. One of the things I like to kind of think about what we have going on here is it's a community where we can all come chat about our favorite show, but also have different opinions, right? Like one of my things is I love hearing when somebody has a different thought process, when someone has a different view from mine, because maybe I might start seeing things differently, right? If you explain your point to me, I might not only understand your point of view better, I might understand my point of view better and it might change. I might also understand more why I agree with my point. Either way, I think it ends up being a much more interesting conversation than people just agreeing with everybody all the time. And it feels like on a lot of places on the internet, you can't have those kind of conversations. Though I do feel like, hey, it's getting better and better every day where we find places like this where we can all come together and still enjoy our favorite show without being too crazy. And it's been like kind of a little family that we got here. All the Oreos hanging out with me here in chat. Where are we at here? Totally lost where I was. What's the Twitter? Yeah, Nightbot, what's the Twitter link? I think if you do exclamation Twitter, let me see here. Should come up with it. Nightbot also did answer just above me, but yeah, there we go. There's a direct link to just the Twitter as well in chat. If I was T-Core, my target would probably be Leah, with my backup target being MJ. Both are loosely aligned with Tucker, and don't talk too much game with you. I'm right there with you, Christian. I think they're really her only two like easy options. Other than that, she's got to make a hard choice on that third one. MJ being the target, I think maybe. I would lean towards an MJ target over a Leah target. I feel like MJ's a little bit more dangerous. Especially if you have to put her on the block. I'd rather MJ go if I have to do that, because I feel like she's a stronger competitor overall. When do you think AI will end? I don't know if they're going to end it before jury, so it might go all the way till jury, which is also another reason why I don't think we're in jury yet, because I think they'll be linked. I think the end of AI will be the start of jury. Good morning, Ori. Go Birds. Love to hear it, Donna. Go Birds. It's going to be a good season. Jawan Dotson, baby. New wide receiver. I love it. I know that's right. My girl T-Core won that HoH. She did, and everyone was crying. They were so excited for her. It was very emotional. Ori, my girlfriend said she broke up with me because I watched BB, but now I know it's because that is... You almost got me there. I was like, oh man, that is such a weird thing to break up with somebody for. That's a good problem to have. Leah and MJ on the block. Which one goes home? I think MJ would go. But I could see a point where they're like, you know what? Leah maybe is too close to Cam. They'd be worried about that. Maybe Leah's too close to Joseph. Joseph's been trying to protect her a lot, so that could be a thing too. I love how you handle some of the touch subjects brought on by the show. Chef's kiss. I try. Tough subject. Well, they're tough and also touchy, right? Like they're not easy topics to always talk about. And I try my best. I'm just a goofy dude who loves Big Brother, right? Like who am I, right? I'm not no authority on anything. But you know, I try my best. I think for the most part, all of us can agree on a lot of things as far as like, you know, very simple like rights and wrongs and just generally how things should go. I think most people have differing opinions on how to handle it sometimes than me, than you see online. But I think those people that take things to the extreme when they talk about situations and everything has to be the most extreme example and you got to be on this side. If you're not on this side, you're the enemy and you're on this side. I think most people, if you actually sit down and have a conversation, I think most people are more in the middle where they're like, listen, we don't have to fight, right? Everybody can just relax and they don't take it to those extremes and can have more nuanced conversations. I think it's a very vocal minority that you hear on the internet. And again, there's people that love certain house guests and then there's people that hate that same house guest on different platforms all around the internet. Like you find every opinion imaginable. And the ones that get the most attention are the ones that are the most extreme usually. Whereas I feel like not everything is as simple as that, right? And I try and handle them as best as I can to have the best discussion and hear all sides. That's always kind of my thing too, is I like to be able to not let anybody think like, hey, just because you disagree and just because you think a different way, that inherently makes you wrong. And that inherently makes you somewhat of a worse person or something. It's ridiculous, right? None of that means you're a bad person if you disagree with anything that anybody else thinks. Made the live stream, long-time lurker, first-time commenter. Corn Cobs, welcome on in. Let's see. Agree, Stephanie. It's also the live video description. Yes, all links are also in the description of the video as well. If you ever need to find stuff. T-Core third nominee, be fun to see who would be the pawn. That's the biggest question, is who she puts up as a third one. I think Cam's an option. I think Joseph's an option. I think even Angela could end up being an option. So it's going to be interesting to see where she lies with that. Speaking of Oreos, I saw where Coke and Oreos were joining together. I did see that, Michelle. And actually, when I saw that, you know what I thought? I thought that it's going to be a collab with me and Alex Owl from BB19, who loves Coca-Cola, and they didn't tell me about it, and I'm kind of upset. I want some royalties from this. I feel like I'm deserving of at least like half the profits from the Oreo Coke joined venture. I think I'm deserving of that. Do you think the arena will stop when jury starts? I do. I was confused because Twitter is now X. That's true. I never call it X. I'm gonna stick with Twitter, I think, until the day I die. I think jury starts this week. It could even be started already, but I think it's going to start in 2 weeks. When there's a 7-person jury, so 9 people left in the game. I think that's when it will start. I think MJ, Leah, and Angela being a target because she is a loose cannon and wins mental comps easily, maybe. But Tucker said, you go after Angela, you're going after me. So maybe that's a thing too. And that was brought up that she was being protected by Tucker as a reason to get her out, because people being protected will go far in the game. I forget who brought that up. I forget who that was, but somebody brought that up. I don't think Angela goes up because T-Core knows Angela will pull it. Exactly, right? It's like the risk. Where were we? Oh, no, I lost where I was. There was a clip of Tucker asking Rubina about Chelsea, and she said he's not going to like it, but it's not about him. So there we go, right? I don't 100% know everything. That could be all a part of why the feeds are off. Heck, here's the thing. We don't even know if that's exactly why the feeds are off. and that's the crappy situation we're in, is where they've made it into this guessing, point fingers, trying to piece together clues, and it just makes things worse at the end of the day. Whereas if we just knew what happened, it might not even be that big of a deal, and it could be all being overblown and getting people more upset about stuff. And it could also be rightfully angry, but at the wrong person. We just don't know, and it's why it's like I don't even want to get involved in it until we know more, and maybe we don't learn more, and that would kind of suck too. I share URL on Discord, has stuff people love and more. Appreciate that. Yes, feeds are still down. Yep, feeds are still down. When does Traders and House of Villains start? That's a good question. House of Villains, I think, is in October. So kind of towards the end of Big Brother. Traders, I'm not sure when the next season of the Traders is. I know they have a leaked cast for Trader season 2 or season 3, I should say. And there's some good people on there. There's some fun people on there. Let me tell you, one of my favorite Big Brother players of all time is going to be on Trader season 3. I cannot wait to see her play. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I won't spoil it because it's not official yet, though. But if you look up the leaked Trader season 3 cast, you'd probably be able to figure it out. I've mentioned it before. One of my alerts has her in it, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Came for the live feed update, stayed for the positive energy. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. I feel like T-Core putting up Tucker is so tricky. I feel like she should get Chelsea and Cam to do it and use her HoH to make an alliance with them to do it. Potentially. But she also felt like that would be really cruel to put them up together back to back. And I don't think she wants to do that. X makes no sense. It doesn't. It's a given that Tucker will go in a double at this point. If he doesn't win, probably. If he doesn't end up winning the HoH or veto in the double, and depending on who wins, right? Like if Rubina won, I don't think she would go and put him up. If Joseph won it, I don't think Joseph would do it either. Even MJ or Leah, I think if they happen to still be around and they win, I think they would protect. Even Angela, I think, would protect Tucker. So as crazy as that sounds, I think there's a lot of people that would actually end up protecting him. I think it was Leah, Cam, Chelsea who brought up the Angela Tucker alliance. Interesting. If Leah said something that bad, she probably is going. And that's the thing, right? Like, we just don't know. We don't know anything at the moment. So I hate to even speculate. And I hate to like point a finger at somebody. And then we find out later, oh yeah, no, they're completely innocent. And it was somebody else. Or, oh, it was a completely misunderstanding. And it would just kind of suck to do that. And we're in that position because they cut the feed so much and because we don't have rewind and because we just have to speculate on so much information. Sheriff Kathy, yes, that is my favorite BB house guest. And they are going to be on Trader Season 3. It was Sheriff Kathy. Hopefully they don't have any competition with Honey. Finale for BB26 on Sunday is Strange 2. Is that what it's set up for now? Is it Sunday? I didn't look. I have seen Traders Canada. Very fun. I wish... my favorite Traders, though, is Traders UK. UK Season 1, fantastic. UK Traders Season 2 might be my favorite season of the Traders. Season 2 of the UK version... Oh, it hits different. It hits so different. And I don't even want to give like too much like about it. It's like just go and watch it. It has one of the best players I think I've seen on the Traders in that season. They also are just like I'm trying to say something without saying something. Because I don't want to ruin a surprise for you guys. But let me just say, there's a thing that the Traders could have told you, and if it was any other show, they would have told you on episode 1. They wait until episode number 3 to drop a bomb. A crazy bomb that when it went off, I went, get the hell out of here. I could not believe the just patience and the ability to trust in their audience that they did not even need to tell them this information, and it would be that much sweeter if they held on to it. It was so good, and I cannot recommend Traders UK enough. It is fantastic. And I think one of the big reasons why I like it so much, there's no celebrities. These are normal people. They're just newbies. They've never played reality game shows before. They're just average people. And when you look at the cast, for the most part, I think you would agree they're very normal looking people, right? Like, it doesn't look like your typical reality cast. There's a lot of great age diversity. It's I can't say enough about how good the Traders UK is. In fact, I mentioned Kick and Twitch. We watched all of Traders UK season 2 on Kick, and it was so much fun. I loved that season. I really can't say enough. Go watch it. Go watch it. That is on Peacock. You can watch that on Peacock, just like the other Trader seasons. Let's see. Where were we? Ever see Traders Canada? I think Traders starts in January. That sounds about right, Karen. MJ, Leah, Cam would be my noms, with Joseph going up if someone gets taken off the block. Sam, no, I don't think there's a Traders Canada. There is, Lisa. There is a Traders Canada. Kevin Martin was on it from BB Can. Also, Kuzi was on it from BB Can. And Erica from Survivor, the winner of Survivor, whatever 40 something, whatever season she was on that she won, she was on it as well. But yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good. What happened to the last twist? The AI instigator? We're gonna find that out on Sunday's episode. Ori, BH Traders 3, your favorite? No, the other BB lady that is on Trader season 3. But I do love BH. BH is fantastic. Some of the best diary rooms ever. But there's another one who's my favorite. I thought Kathy was still stuck in the honey. I love the UK version. Traders AU is probably the best if you ask me. I didn't hate it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked the season with what's his name from Survivor Australia? The People's Champ. Forget his name now. But he was fun. I liked seeing him on there. Agree, it was awesome. It was just me, or do none of the BB contestants that go in the Traders do well. They don't, Tommy. They definitely don't. It's a different game. It's more of a fast-paced game. And also because BB has this like stigma as being like backstabby. I don't know why, but BB contestants, when they go like to like other shows and like other reality shows, people always think of like BB as like the sneakiest players. They always think they're like very strategic and they're people that will like turn on you, where like Survivor doesn't seem like it gets that much of the reputation for that, but Big Brother has that like big time. I've seen every version of the Traders, but the Canadian version, it isn't on Netflix. Oh no, Lisa, if you need to find a way to watch it, and you're not working for Derek and you're not working for Kenny, I may be able to help you out. Let me know. I'm starting my day with Uri. I love to hear it. Netta is on the Traders Canada season 2. I've heard that rumor, Sam. There may be some other rumors I heard as well. But I cannot confirm or deny. New Zealand is worth watching. I've seen one season of New Zealand, but I think they just released a second one just before the BB season, right? I haven't watched it yet, but it's on the list. Maybe after BB season's over, that might be something we do on Kick first. That might be one of the first things we end up watching over there. Couldn't it be the AI instigator causing the feeds cut? It could be. Diane, it very well could be. We don't know for sure. But I think it has to do with other things. But again, I don't want to really speculate too much. You watch any Solitary 1.0? I'm addicted to it. No, I haven't seen it. Let's see where we at. On Peacock though. I don't know if Traders Canada's on Peacock, but You know, if you're not working for Derek, if you're not working for Kenny, maybe we could find some ways for you. Traders Canada season 2 is coming this fall. The season was already filmed. It was already filmed. And as far as I know, I'll give you this too. As far as I know, there are 2 BB people on it. I think only one BB person has been leaked. But from what I understand, there's 2 BB people on the season. And this comes from a source who was at the first taping of the show. Yes, I know from a source who was at the first taping of season 2 that they said there were 2 people. Now, I will say, let me be a little honest with you guys here. I'm gonna be 100 with you guys on this one. This might not be the most reliable source. Their credentials are good. They have all the credentials. They should know. Are they reliable? That is a different question. I'm not sure I would trust them to know what's 2 feet in front of their face. But it is a source. And that's what they say. Yeah, it's definitely not the most reliable one. Not by a long shot. Boston Rob, I've heard that maybe. I've heard that. Brittany or Danielle? Brittany or Danielle who, Armchair? What do you mean? What do you mean? AU is canceled. They're not doing AU anymore. Luke. Yes, Luke. Luke's who I was thinking of. He was awesome. Help me, Ori. Lisa, I will. Hit me up on Twitter or hit me up in the Discord. And I'll hook you up. Who from BB Can would you like to see on Traders Canada season 3? Bruno Aiello. Bruno Aiello, Traders Canada season 3. I think he would do really well. I feel like Joe could be a target this week, especially if Chelsea and T-Core/Chemo start working together from here on out. That could be a thing. And some seeds were planted, and especially with him like pushing how much he wants to save Leah, it could be a thing as well. Quinn also has dropped those seeds too, so wouldn't be too far-fetched. Somehow we had 2 BB Amazing Race winners and top with Brenchel. That is true. That is true. Still can't believe that happened. Top 3. New Zealand 2 is so good. I've heard that corn cob. One of my buddies watched it and he was like, dude, have you watched it? I was like, no, not yet. I wanted to save it. I wanted to save it until it was all out. And then by the time it was all out, it was like the first 2 weeks of BB and I was deep in the feeds. So probably once Big Brother finishes up, we'll watch New Zealand season 2 over on Kick. So make sure you're following over on Kick. We'll hit that follow button. I want Spicy V on Traders. She'd be really good on Traders. Just pure chaos. Where can I watch Traders Canada? There's some ways. Heather. Are you working for Derek? Are you working for Kenny? If you ain't working for the 2 of them, if you're working for the 2 of them, you got to tell me you're working for them. But if you're not, I can maybe hook you up. Hit me up on Twitter or Discord. I'll send you a message. There's one for French Canadian. There is one for French Canadians as well. I've heard about that. I don't speak French though. That's my issue. Tucker on edibles. I see Brittany and Danielle. You see Brittany and Danielle? What do you mean? Is that leak somewhere maybe? Or I love your background and lighting. Nani, I appreciate that. Gotcha. Yeah, RJ, you got me, baby. You picking up what I'm putting down? LOL Bruno, hope he's ready to play and not just watch other people play by proxy. I'm out for today. Thanks for hanging. I had a blast. I'm about to wrap it up here as well. I think we're catching up on chat. But I've had such a good time. I get lost and I lose track of time. And we've been going for over 2 hours now at this point. I just have a blast hanging out with you guys. It's always so much fun. I'm still annoyed Brenchel didn't win. I'm not that season was Steamroll. Oh, what one was that? Oh, when Brenchel played. I saw it on Google. Survivor Quebec. Rachel and Dave slaughtered season 20 of The Amazing Race. It was amazing to watch. Amazing Race, it's hit or miss for me. I didn't watch a couple of the last few seasons. I think the last one I watched fully was the one with Claire and Derek X, and I really liked that season too. I thought that one was fun. I want to see if Tord T-Core put up Leah, Mackenzie, and Joseph. Leo and Vito. Mackenzie wins AI. Now she got a real hard decision to make because her allies on either side of the house are gonna go home. Ooh, that would be tough. That's normal anymore. 2-hour live chat. Brenchel never won anything, actually. An actual leg of the race. They never won an actual leg? Interesting. Rob and Amber got screwed, did they? That's the thing, too. Sometimes on The Amazing Race, like, I feel like some challenges are, like, the judges, it's so dependent on, like, you know, you have to, like, recreate a thing. But it's up to the judge's discretion on whether you did it good enough. And, like, sometimes it's so, like, just up to the discretion of the judge. And it feels like sometimes they give people an easy time. Sometimes they're a little bit more nitpicky. And I don't know. It feels like you can really get screwed over by that. Me too. I don't remember the last one I watched. So much love. Thank you, Ori. I appreciate that, Rachel. Yes, Ori, Claire, and Derek X. That season was fun. I love their episode recaps and behind the scenes. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And I thought they played really well. Like, while The Amazing Race, for the most part, it's just like, hey, do well in the competitions and, you know, don't get lost. I feel like they did everything they needed to do to put them in good spots to win. I even think, like, one of the things they did was they front-loaded Claire doing a lot of the roadblocks so that later in the race, Derek, who they thought would be the stronger one in roadblocks, would get to do them when they counted more. So it's a little bit risky because sometimes, like, you're not using people to their best strengths, right? If you used up all of Claire's things early, you could end up in a spot where she would have been better later on. But it's kind of like a risk reward, and it worked out for them well. Did you know that DX chugged a beer after the ice smash? It wasn't allowed to drive because the cameraman caught it on film. That's amazing. There's a light work politicking. Yeah, there's definitely light work politicking, right? Because, like, you'll have like the U-turns and stuff like that, and also, like, if you're at a stop and you're friendly with a team, it might give you a little bit of a helping hand, and you can work together maybe to find a spot. Like, if you know you've got distance on another team, you don't have to be first. You just don't want to be last, right? So if you can have a little bit of a good working relationship with teams, it can work out. What's up, Logan? How's it going? We're actually just about to wind it down here. I've been having a really good time. I want to thank you guys all so much for joining me. There was an alliance on the Amazing Race last season, which happens, right? There will be, like, these little mini alliances that form. So there is some strategy to it, but not super heavy. But yeah, I want to thank you guys all so much for hanging out and watching. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you made it all the way to the end of this stream, smash that like button. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Check out all the links to my socials. There's going to be a pinned comment on the video afterwards, but in the description, there's a bunch of stuff as well. Check out my Twitch and Kick. We were talking about getting Kick up and running, especially after the season, for a lot of different shows. We'll be hanging out. You can check out the Ori Fund and Throne. Never needed. The easiest way is to smash that thumbs up button. Thank you guys all so much for the love and support. Feeds are still down. Hopefully they come back soon, and we'll find out more about what T-Core's plans are at HoH. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Did that work? Bye, guys.
Without an arrow, you are useless. Like a bow.